house hasn't been cleaned up yet, so, but I did expect to get that done today. I think that might have been a bit ambitious because there's no electricity here. I have to get Romer's power up into the cabin so that I can run my shop vac. Essentially, you can kind of see the years of just dust and debris on the countertops. And you know, it's difficult to feel clean, right? So what I did is I got a gargantuan, not this bottle of Fabuloso, but a big super concentrate, and basically put it in my sprayer. Because I was using paper towels to get this done, and it was taking me forever. And then in the end, I was like, you know what, let me just grab a sponge from the car, just like right here. But I gotta wash the sponge off because it's probably more dirty than the counter now, because I was cleaning out the sink. I guess the person who tried doing the drywall used the sink as their, it's their spot where they clean up instead of going outside. So I had to pull all kinds of material out of the sink, including wasps. Just gonna keep wrenching the sponge until it runs clean. Can't believe the amount of work with these sorts of projects that it takes. And there's questions as whether or not it will even be rewarding in the end, because it is a distressed property that I got, and there's still like an outstanding lien on the property, so I have to get that worked out in order for, kind of like an assessment to see if I really should be doing any of this. The thing is like, our system is so wonky. It's kind of like they tie these debts to this. So the original owner, they bought the property after, I'm assuming for like an investment, right? Well, what happened is they had outstanding credit card debt of $3,000 from like 12 years ago. And the bank found out, the credit card company found out that they bought this property and they put a lien on it. So basically it crippled them from further developing this place. But now, I've totally hammered this countertop with all kinds of chemicals. Oh my. Yesterday was, I used a lot of my vinegar, like this was full, and I just poured it on the counter and started scrubbing. And it worked. It got clean. And I'm pulling in some solar. Let's see here. What do we got? We got 0.5 amps on an overcast day. That's really bad. It's not horrible because during the course of the entire day. Okay, so there's a leaf on some of the panel and there's a tree right there. Maybe what we'll do is get some work boots on and pull that whole thing over to maybe like right here. Move it down some and maybe out further that way. What we'll do. There you go. But that's the view. Is that not the most beautiful view you've ever seen? Like, wow. It's so like aesthetic and serene. Nice. And I'm pulling in some solar. Let's see here. What do we got? We got 0.5 amps on an overcast day. That's really bad. It's not horrible because during the course of the entire day. Okay, so there's a leaf on some of the panel and there's a tree right there. All right, so essentially what I want to do, make sure there's no critters over here, this thing over there. Get it in the sunlight. Make sure there's no snakes underneath there when I lift it. I can kind of see the sun in the shadow of the house, so let's, oh, a big spider. Nice. Ouch. Okay, so I do believe we're going to double or triple our solar right there. So we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6, they're all sunken. So, yeah. Gonna need to be lifted up. Yeah, so I'm thinking that so I'm thinking like the setback is probably technically right here, but I'm not sure. We need someone to come out and survey it. I don't want to get bit by a snake either. We're in really tall grass here. But there's the road, right? There's the right of way. And then they need 20 feet from there to the structure. So I need to have that measured to make sure we're within the 20 feet. I'm thinking that we're not, but I'm not sure. So 1, 2, 3, those 3 are the front of the house. And whatever dimension it is from the right of way to the front of the house has to be 20 feet. And most likely it's for safety. So I don't know what they were thinking. They must have been like measuring from the road out and put it like 30, 40 feet. I'm not sure. But that's assuming there's a problem. I don't know that there's a problem for sure. It might literally be by the inch. Or they might give a variance for a couple inches or feet. I don't even know. But before I do any work, we're going to just keep on waiting for the county to catch up. Oh, dang. Looks like the telco box got smashed. I think as far as property lines go, this is probably it. You're looking at it. So probably like right here, straight back. All right, guys, so this is the well. The pump is missing, obviously, but everything else is set up ready for it, minus the electronics. So I have to run the wires out, and then I could have running water to the house. But obviously I can't do that yet, but that's one of the things where that will be a video hooking this up. I am not sitting on that. All right, so it looks like we Basically got what we wanted to get done. Let's go check the solar input. I looked this morning, and when I started, I had 3.11 volts. I'm now up to 3.33 volts, which is important, which tells me I can start running my shop vac and not have to run the car anymore, right? Because remember, I took the solar panels off. Okay, so I'm getting 0.6 amps, but it's really much more overcast than it was before. 0.7 amps, see? Yeah, so it's just like van life, right? So you see, it really hasn't changed much. Actually, the van has running water. Once I put the batteries back in, clean this up a bit. Like I said, it is what it is. Like ultimately, like residency in this area, domicile setup. That's really what I'm after. And slow and steady on the house, right, Kevin? I'm definitely gonna be taking my time with this project. I got this coleslaw I'm dying to try. Yum. Let me see here. Mmm. Mmm. So I'm waiting for my solar panels to charge my power bank. Once that happens, I'll probably run the shop vac. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.